Hey guys, welcome to Michelle's Opinions. Um, I hope my sound is coming through okay. Um, Let me pull up the chat so I can see what's going on, see who's here. And give me 1 second. There's my music for you. Twilight Zone. Oh, hey, Glowing's me, Pretty Dark, Fire Earth, Norma, pre Liminal. I'm sorry, I just butchered that. I'm pretty dark. Welcome, everybody. I have a couple articles that I want to read to you guys. Tonight, we're going to talk about soul contracts and spiritual intuition. And, a lot of times, get these things to stay in my ears right. A lot of times, we will ignore our own intuition because somebody will say something different when we're at a time now that we need to be listening to our intuition, following that inner guidance, what we would used to call our gut instinct. Things are becoming much more clearer to us. The understanding is becoming much more clear to us. And we need to realize that everything that we need is within us. And once we've got our house in order, all else follows. And to start trusting those gut instincts, those intuitions, the things that are going on within each and every one of us. So, would you guys prefer that I screen share the article or just read it to you? I'll give you guys a second because I know that there's a little bit of a delay. It doesn't matter either way. Actually, the image that is behind me actually comes from the article, one of the articles that I'm going to read. It's absolutely beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. I'm going to share that. Okay, I will read it to you. And well, I was going to read it anyways. I was just going to screen share it while I read it. I do always, whenever I use source information, I link it in the description box so then you can find it too. But when I found these two articles, most of you guys know already that I get the best information when I'm swimming or showering, when I'm immersed in water. And some things have transpired and that are, coming into my awareness that really I got what a lot of us would call a download, the inspiration. And then when I came in, the articles just popped up so quickly and so easily. I was like, okay, this is meant to be. Now, why it is so late is because I wanted to wait till my husband left for work. So I do apologize for if it's a late hour for some people. Here on the West Coast, it's 7:45, so it's not that bad. Okay, let me go to the article and read it to you. Okay, the first one I'm going to read to you guys is Destiny, Fate, and Soul Contracts. And it has the beautiful image that I have behind me. Okay, before you entered this physical time and space, your soul made an agreement. Before you came into human form, your soul had specific purpose or destiny that it had agreed to fulfill. This destiny was written in your soul contract. We all have soul contracts. And this is just not want to work with me. Okay. And essentially, it is a list of lessons that we are meant to acquire in the lifetime in order to advance our soul to a higher level of consciousness. Excuse me. I have seen the soul contract many times through meditation and when doing intuitive readings. And here is what I know about it. Now, I'm not talking to you. I'm reading the article. I'm not interjecting anything, and I will This I'm interjecting, but we'll discuss it after I read the article. We'll take a break in between the two. Okay. Your time, date, and place of birth are no accident. Your family you were born into was specifically chosen for you. Certain people are destined to come into your life to help you heal something either from a past life or in this lifetime. Whatever events unfold in your life are not here in order to help you evolve to a higher state of consciousness. Okay, let me read that bullet point one more time. Whatever events unfold in your life are here in order to help you evolve to a higher state of consciousness. Sorry, guys. It's freaking hot. See, it's like 100 degrees. Okay. Okay. Death is also included on your soul contract, but not as a date. Rather, it is at a moment in your life, a moment when you realize whatever it is you need to realize in order to move back into spirit form. You were sent. Let's scroll this up a little bit. Okay. Wait, I'm making more eye contact with the camera. You were sent to this dimension of Earth at a specific time, to a specific place, and with a specific purpose. One thing is not predetermined, however, is your free will and choice. Life is full of choices. We all have free will. We are all in charge, in brackets, to a certain extent in bracket. And we all have a say in how we want our life to unfold once we get here. Okay. The choices are seen as our fate. We can choose which path to go down. We can choose which road to avoid, which road to pursue. But the one thing we cannot change is our destiny. Our destiny is essential to the experience, the unconditional love of the universe, and often this takes many journeys across many lifetimes and dimensions in order to fully return to this energy. All souls on earth are here at different stages of their consciousness evolution, some towards the end and some have just begun. But either way, we are all contracted to be here. Essentially, your soul contract is the deal you made with yourself in order to help you grow and evolve to a higher state of awareness. But you're not alone. You are also given some help along the way by your guides and angels. In order to fulfill your soul contract, you are also assigned to a set of spiritual guides, angels, and people to help you. If you are open enough, you will constantly receive signs, messages, and clues as to whether you are following your highest or destined path. One of the best physical clues that you're following your soul contract or highest path is when, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm reading this for the first time, is when synchronicity occurs. What? Or strange coincidences happen, which leads you from one thing to the next. Another good sign that you are following your highest path is when you seem to meet the right people at the right time who can offer you information, guidance, and assistance when you are in doubt or wanting to learn. Okay, wow, this is my socks are blown off. Okay. There is some debate of whether or not you can break your soul contract. Some argue that everything you do is part of your contract, and others believe that you can wander off your chosen path. But was breaking your contract part of your deal, part of the deal? I don't think it's possible to really ever break your contract, but there can be moments when your choices don't always flow with your destiny. When this occurs, you may experience confusion, negativity, or even physical ailments. But remember, all of this is sometimes necessary to help you naturally align and move back into the flow. Think of your soul contract as the mountain that you were placed on, the mountain you were destined to climb. You can choose how to get to the top. You can choose which way you want to climb. Each of these choices bring about a completely different experience, but the destination will always be the same. Your mountain will continue to grow, shift, and evolve as you do, but your purpose here in human form will always remain. Excuse me. It is not a race to see how fast you can get to the top. It's not a necessary challenge to try to climb someone else's mountain. The challenge is in being true to yourself and climbing your mountain with ease and grace, excited by where the journey will take you. And that's it for that one. Oh my gosh. Let me hop back over here. Okay. How many of you guys did that just speak to? Like volumes. I mean, I'll tell you, I pulled them up with ease. And as I was reading them, you probably, that's right, I didn't screen share. So you guys got to see the expressions on my face. So, is that mind bending? Glowings. I had no idea what a soul contract I entered before coming, but I must have been something that includes a wild ride. Yeah, but it just seems to be going along with the things that we're saying. We're here to experience and expand, but when you boil us down, well, the things that you guys probably been hearing me say a lot is that when you boil us down, we are just unconditional love. Wow, pretty dark. I was given the opportunity to back out of my life contract because it was very difficult and lonely for a long time. There were so uh, there were so kind as to offer me a chance to back out twice. Wow, that's nice. And that could have already been a clause in your contract, pretty dark. That's kind of what the article was saying, that, maybe that's your destiny. If you're being offered that over and over again, then maybe that's a clause already in your contract. Um, Beyond all, who or what would make us sign a contract? I don't think it's a signed contract. Um, Through a meditation that I went through, it was a guided meditation. I let go, and I actually went back and I saw a past life, and then I also saw where I was picking my parents. Very, very interesting meditation. It was done by in Amber's place. Amber, she does guided meditations. When she stays alert and doesn't end up meditating herself out, they're absolutely wonderful. I mean, I saw so much. Hey Lee, hey Candy Apple, hey Beyond All. I'm sorry, I've been and Norma. I've been so excited about what I just read. I just ah, it's absolutely amazing. And some of the commonalities that we are all dealing with. And you guys know I love synchronicities. I just absolutely love them. But I just think I have these in the wrong ears. That's why they're both messing with me. Just give me a second. Let's try and fix this situation here. Okay. That I think that was what the problem was. Hmm. So, soul contracts. Interesting. Um, I'm still blown away about, I'm doing the series on master numbers now. I was starting to do just the double digit, but then I'm broadening out. I did one a foundational one, but basically on master numbers. But I'm going into, not just doubles. I'm going into triples and quads and putting them all, together as a nice, neat package. Um, I love number synchronicities. We see them all the time, guys. How many of you guys see number synchronicities pretty regularly? Or will be thinking about something and then, or meditating on something and get information, and then the next thing you know, you hear somebody else talking about it, and you hadn't said a word to anybody about anything, but they're talking about the very, very same thing that you just were thinking about. That's a synchronicity. I mean, they're just absolutely amazing. Constantly, yes. So I've often thought when we see these things that it's a sign, that we're on the right path, but I'm interested in what the numbers all mean, which one, which ones the world would say would mean what answer. I think we're given clues all the time. Just like, listening to that man who gets his answers through listening to Sam or Pandora's Box, that music shuffle. The universe is constantly talking to us. Yeah, 1111 gateways. Yes, your birthday month. And that was another thing. With Shane, I was talking about his like awakening process began in his birth month. He thought it had something to do with this, the equinox or the changeover. Mine also happened in my birth month, and I could have discounted it to the winter solstice or winter equinox. That's not what it is, guys. How many of you guys have had or experienced an abrupt awakening in your birth month? Um, I know there's people that have been awake their entire lives, but what's in their contract? How are they to expand? We think of Earth as a school, and now when people are getting ready to leave, they're graduating. Um, I mean, it's just an amazing process that we go through. See, I'm gonna try to keep up with the chat. Can I read that out loudly? Is it Candy Apple Beverly Nation? I don't know. I'm not acquainted with it. Okay, but said on her videos, she said we can tell our higher selves to void our soul contracts. Oh, and that we've learned our lessons if we're awake. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Why did you take your message down, Lloyd? I didn't get to it. Childhood memories popping up so vividly, like Michelle Wolf saying for me. Wow, great. Scroll back. Okay, so Yellow Sun sees the threes all the times, all the time. We're getting these clues, guys, and just by that article, I mean, use discernment, of course, with everything, but just with that, telling us that those little nudges, there's something to that. I mean, it resonated with me. About blew my socks off. Right. And we do realize that we are sovereign beings. We get the boot off our neck, we rise up, take our sovereignty, learn to manage these abilities that we have within us. Instead of being programmed, we become the programmer, and then experience that side of it also. But that could be in the contract. Maybe that's why I got bumped on the head. It was supposed to happen when I turned 33, and I was to be helped, but I was raising children, had other things I needed to do, or was still going through some things. So I went to sleep again for an 11-year period. And then when I was 44, bonk, right back on the head, and it was full speed ahead. They also are downloads. I don't know about that. I get the best information, candy apple, when I'm submerged in water. But it could be different things for different people. And maybe it's to let us be aware that we're in a game of life, that not to worry so much about it. So, yeah. I mean, and it almost does feel like when you're getting the assistance, I called it the Holy Spirit. But it could be spirit guides. We also hear about guardian angels. And we have to ask for the help. If they won't interfere with our sovereignty unless we ask. Seek and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be open. Something to all this, guys. There's something to all this. Okay, you guys ready to go into spiritual intuition? That's the second article that I pulled up. Soul Contracts was pretty mind-blowing. And again, I haven't read this other article yet either. But this image that is behind me now is the image that, if you click on the source links below, that's the image that's on the top. And it's absolutely beautiful. Glowing. I had a similar experience, began awakening in 2002. Okay, became aware of more, but only lately had the spiritual mix into the awake experience with the changes so much about everything. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, the things that you're doing, glowing, you are, you're deprogramming, and now you're reprogramming. You're becoming the programmer. You understand that you have a say-so here more than you ever knew, and so everything applies. If you remove the doubt in your mind, you can do it. And just like what you shared about this evening, you were given something to assure you that you're still on the right path. You're okay. Okay. Let me get a drink, and then we'll go on to the next article. Where is everybody tonight? There's only 10 of us here. What's the problem? Okay. Spiritual intuition. Okay. The description of spiritual intuition. Everyone has that gut feeling about something, whether good or bad. We have, we have all felt it. Did you trust it? Did you feel that inner knowing often or just sometimes? Do you think about someone and then they call or text you? Can you manifest things? Glowing. No, that's not in the article. Can you manifest things that make you seem really lucky all the time? Psychic abilities, a sixth sense, clairvoyance, clairaudience, getting downloads, which is what somebody just said in the chat, and the gift of prophecy. These are all names to describe what is simply spiritual intuition. Everyone has intuition, an innate ability to see, know, or predict what's to come, whether consciously or subconsciously. We are using this skill all of the time, more often than you may realize. The degree to which it is used varies from person to person. Intuition is often defined as knowing without the use of a rational process. This talks about a workshop. In this workshop, we will explore the spiritual senses and how to activate them. I'm not promoting a workshop, but I just wanted to read that part of the article. It was very, very short, sweet, and to the point. Yeah, okay. I'll back over here with you guys. Um, okay, so there's intuition there, and that also goes along with manifestation, prophetic. When I go off, I love having astro dreams. You know, I want to ask you guys something. Um, and we've got a small group here, so it's all good. Do you guys notice that some people have these radiating these like glowing auras around them, where others do not? I've often heard about background people, non-participant players, maybe they're fillers here to enhance our experience. But myself, I want to treat others as I want to be treated, with unconditional love, respect, and but I'm starting to, as time goes on, more is revealed to us. And I have noticed that some people just don't have, or I can't perceive the aura around them. Anybody else having that go on? That some people they can see the auras, other people they just are not there. Well, let's see what's going on with Beyond. My ear ringing has been horrible, especially since the Schumann resonance is jumping the last couple of days. That's okay. My ears ring too. That's pretty normal. And beyond all, whenever I go to sleep and it's like there's a different kind of ring, it's more like a buzzy sound. That's actually from everything being charged up, but within, and it's telling me I'm about to go on like an astro trip. I'm going to go see something that's in the future or in the past, or you know, uh, time discernment is a problem, and location discernment is a problem because, like I said, if I am on a mountain, I'm on a mountain, but which mountain? I don't know which mountain. I'm trying to pay attention to the clothing and stuff that is worn, to try to discern time. I know the one of the more recent ones, I actually went back in time and saw something happen that was awful. It was awful. And it could have been a past life of my own that I decided to come back because I didn't make it through because I had a harsh judgment on the person that basically killed me. So I wanted revenge. I wanted justice. And one of the things beyond all you might want to do is close your eyes and try to go backwards. Follow it back. I could hear up to 3 tones at one time. So uh, people always say, "Oh, it's tinnitus." Well, no, because with tinnitus, you've damaged your ears in some case. Like people that work around, like in press shops, metal shops, and stuff like that. With they wear the earbuds, to try to protect their hearing, but they're very, very loud and they can cause a little damage to the ear, which will cause that ringing. But it's not 3 tones and it's not intermittent. So just something that you may want to try. I did. And when you trace it back, you'd be amazed at what you see. I was, and it's just another way of having a different type of synchronicity that the universe is speaking to you. So don't worry about it, and don't think that it's something you need to rid yourself of. One of the things I've noticed is when we accept what's going on, um, then things stop. When we lose the fear and just embrace it with unconditional love, it just goes away. I get tingly and lightheaded recently. I was given a unique experience of choosing a reality within a ship. Wow. Now that's cool. Well, we should all be creating our own. And as we're quantumly entangled, uh, I think we're going to create an amazing place. So it's just, wow. Candy apples, yes. Oh, Lisi's 1111 gateways. I love those 1111s. I see them all the time too. It's beautiful. Why will be there be no one left behind if there is background people? I don't know if we can create background people, or just like with that soul contract, that a person's gonna just show up in your life just for that time being, and then they'll just vanish from you. Where do they go? I don't know. But I've always thought it's an everybody thing. I would have to say, guys, everybody in here, you're not a background person. You're a person. So don't worry about that. When people start concerning themselves that they are a background person, then you need to know that you're not a background person. You're here having an experience. It's divine. It's about experience, expanding our awareness, um, engulfing ourselves in the unconditional love and forgiveness for everyone. But my question was, is there people that can see auras on some individuals where there's not auras on other individuals? That was my question. Yep. Yes, Yellow Sun. I agree with that. You can feel their intentions, if they're good or they're bad. Yes, you can sense their authenticity. Yeah, if they mean you harm or if they really are there to help you, you feel their heart. Isn't that a beautiful thing? And don't limit yourself, Yellow Sun. You may not be able to at this moment see auras, but it seems like when that sixth sense is opened up, that all of our five senses are enhanced to such a degree, plus the limitless potential that comes along with all the gifts that get stirred back up into our remembrance. You can talk to your body and heal it. Um, you can change the weather. You see the synchronicities. At first, I have to tell you guys, the number of synchronicities were shown to me on my clock. Okay, I was already having the lucid dreamings and all that stuff going on, and I would get woke up at 111 in the morning just to fall back to sleep. To get woke up at 222, fall back to sleep 333. It got really pesky. I was like, give me a break, okay? I get it. I mean, I didn't get it, but I was like, I get it. Something's going on here. I need to pay attention. But right now, let me sleep. Everyone's on their own path. Yes. And it is individual, it is unique. And the only limits that we have on our journey, which is what the soul contract was saying. People come in for different purposes, different reasons, different, desires to know what's going on with them. But we all have the same destiny. How many of us have been getting that message? I mean, that it's There's so many, we think of God and people try to put God in a box. He's one way, and God is so much more and able to speak to each and every one of us individually where we can understand. But the destination, guys, is all the same. And our hearts are cracked wide open. We're absolutely unconditional love. I mean, it's beyond comprehension. When I had that what I call love embrace, I didn't want whatever that being was. I didn't want it to move away from me. It was so beautiful. Little did I know that that is what we are becoming. It's just an amazing understanding, and we do get help. And yes, everybody is so unique and beautifully and wonderfully made that the universe, God, Source will talk to you uniquely and divinely. And you get your heart cracked wide open, get your mind, your heart. It's just like I always say, I got my house in order, the micro, and then it reflects out in the macro. Um, you know, in the Bible it says, "Seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, and all else will be added." Well, everything you need is within you, everything. But we get kind of things backwards and start looking out in the world for the answers when everything we need is within us. It's a beautiful understanding. It can be quite confusing though, and that's why I'm stepping up and made my channel, because there is a confusing part, and there's when things no longer serve us and they need to be pulled away, you know it can be very difficult on people. So yeah. Candy apple. I think we're all like jumping up and down saying, "Pick me up. I can't handle this in 3D." Well, you'll find out that you're not a three-dimensional being. Hey, Rainbow Phoenix, God, you made it. Okay, beyond all, I've been having very vivid dreams lately. They seem to be like I'm seeing my life in alternate timelines. Wow, now that's cool. When I was 15, I had a near-death experience, or maybe a death experience, and I didn't have to come back, but there was like all these images that were flashed before me, and there was something in those images that was going to cause such harm to maybe somebody I came in here with contract with, or a loved one, that I came back. And as soon as I saw that, and I made, it was like, I can't do that to to that person. I can't do that to that individual. Bam! I was back in my body. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to have a second thought about it. I was back in my body, and oh my gosh, my eye was swelled out, 48 staples in my head. It was terrible. It was painful, but worth it, because she's definitely worth it. Because as time goes on, things are revealed to us. It's beautiful. In near life experience. Oh, you were in a call. Okay, it's fine. I keep these at an hour, so they're easy to go back and rewatch, and also the articles are in the show notes that I shared. So that is too cool. And the I call astro travel. Those are my favorite ones, and that's where it's not the ears ringing. It's more like a hum sound, because the energy's like stirred up, and poof, you're out of your body. And it's like I go to a place that is outside of time, and it's like no place. So it's like no place but no time. And then I drop down in, and I go, and either I'm a participant, an observer, but at the same time, I realize that I am in a dream state, and the rules don't apply there. The rules that are set up here don't apply there. And I'm wondering if we're going to come to the understanding that the rules that we think apply here don't apply here. I mean, it's just, where are we going, guys? I mean, we're on Mr. Toad's wild ride, and it's an absolute beautiful thing. It's a beautiful understanding that we're coming to. I mean, it's just off the charts. Some of the big lessons I had to learn was forgiveness. I had to forgive everyone, no matter what. I had to ask for forgiveness because when I uh, got the understanding of how we're quantumly entangled with each other and how we affect one another, I realized that by my thoughts, my words, my deeds, I was doing more damage than just an exchange of words and walking away. And that helped me when I got that understanding with forgiveness. Um, and then I also had this feeling of being betrayed. Why did nobody teach us this? Why is everything so inverted here? Everything seems so upside down and backwards. And then I had to get through that part because, we all come in here. And I think one of the first things that we do when we come in here is to remember to forget who we are. Therefore, by doing that, we can have an authentic experience. We can broaden and expand. We can experience those low lows and have more gratitude for those higher highs. I know there's a lot of people that think that if you click the pendulum too far, it's going to snap back, and it's just going to make it that much more of a, wild ride. But I have to say, when we get into this understanding, there is no pendulum going back and forth. It's just not. We're able to then become the programmer. Glowing is well on her way to becoming the programmer. She's understanding with what she can do with the weather, her skies, that she is programming what is going on. Is the pendulum going to swing back on her? No. It will only swing back on you if you believe that it will swing back on you. If we believe these things, we make them true. Yes. Okay, Candy Apple. If we remembered our power as a piece of source, we wouldn't stay. So we forget. Right. We wouldn't stay. We wouldn't. And I think that's a big part of it is, we come in, as a baby, and we may know some things then, but, we get frustrated because people are, and babies get very frustrated and all they can do is cry. Well, that's kind of how our spiritual awakening goes too, guys. We got to learn the language. We got to, learn how to read the signs, the help that we're getting, to be able to learn how to apply it into our lives, and change this place, because we are the ones that can change it. It wouldn't be the way that it is if we were not creating it the way that it is. But we can create it in the way that we want to. We don't have to listen to the television programming. We don't have to listen to news broadcasts, all of this negative, dark stuff that is, will keep you kind of stagnant and sluggish. All those things are put in place, though, for a reason. Everything has its purpose. A lot of people call it balance. But, and I do have to agree that if I didn't go without and homeless, I wouldn't be so grateful for the things that I have in the 3D. Now, when we come into this understanding of who and what we are, and we know that we are prosperous, we are abundant, we are manifestors, we have the divine breath of life in us, we are all God's children, we are all different expressions of God who has shared itself with each and every one of us to be a unique expression. It's beautiful understanding, guys. It's just wow. I don't want to come back to 3D world unless it's much better, more loving, forgiving environment. This place is whack. Uh-huh. Lee, change ourselves and we change the world. Yes, ma'am. It all starts from here. The only person you can change is yourself. You thinking you're with somebody and you're like, if I could change them, yeah, then you're in that relationship for the wrong reason. Um, the only person we have any control over is ourselves. So seek from within, get the answers from within. Find channels like mine and chains, and find synchronicities in and comfort in these amazing, wonderful things that seem almost terrifying when you feel so alone and isolated in it. It's going to be okay. You're going to make it. We're all going to make it. We are all going to make it. Did I miss anybody's comments? Did anybody have an answer on the auras? I'm really curious about this because, um, you know, what, Blowing? I just go back and I did do a few videos on background people, and for you, I am a background person, and you are a background person for me. So, and that is the way that I look at it. But my concern here, my question is that I can see auras around people, but then other people I don't see them. So I'm just wondering what would be causing that. Now I know when people get nervous, their auras will shrink really close to their bodies, like they'll be really close. But then as they get comfortable, they will expand back out, and then you can see the colors, starting to flow from them, depending on if it's a heart-based story they're telling or if it's something they know really well, and they're all in alignment. And they'll, you'll see pinks. I'll see pinks, blues, purples, greens. And the auras that I see around people are they look white, but I would call it more of a silver shimmery kind of a color around them. But then there's other people that I don't see them, and I used to blame it on, well, it's because they need to be in front of a pure white background. Well, the other day I saw the beautiful aura of a lady who was sitting in a room with dark walls, two-tone walls, but I was able to clearly see her aura and her colors. So I just want to know, what do you guys think? Preliminal. I think spirit realms have lords and governors to keep order. And the more enlightened realms need less and less governors because they are not as chaotic. I agree with you. You are so right. Back to where we're at. Well, Yellow Sun, not really for sure. I kind of have been looking at the promise of God, as the rainbow, and then that also lines up with our chakra. And, the green is our heart, the yellow is the solar plexus, the blue is your throat, the purple is where your third eye, and then the pink would be on your crown. So, but that's for me. That could be something completely different for you. You hear him? Yes. You know what? He needs to get some exercise, man. He's getting really chubby. And all he wants to do is wherever I'm at, he wants to sit right there. If I go swimming, where's he at? Laying on my towel. Always wants to be laying and rolling all over my towel. But he loves me a lot, and I love him a lot. And I have a little Pomeranian too that I just absolutely adore her too. But it could Yellowstone. It could be something completely different, for you. I mean, yeah. I know Joanne said that she's has seen people in colors her entire life. Yes, they they the animals are really needy right now. They're needing lots of love. But realize our animals are unconditional love. Absolutely unconditional, pure love. And they give you 110% of themselves. That's why we were talking the other day about therapy animals and stuff like that. When people are really sick, they give them these therapy animals, and the therapy animal is actually giving up their life in order to prolong yours. That's how much animals love us. Have they glowings? Rainbows are always a big sign and deal for me. Is that's your synchronicity that you're on your right path? I really enjoyed both of those articles. They were, pretty spot on. And we need to follow our intuition, our gut instincts. If something's not resonating with us, there's a reason. And, it doesn't serve us. So then we need to back away. Uh, I would rather have, like we have 11 people in here. I'd rather have 11 authentically affected, going through this transformation people in here than 200 people in here that don't resonate with what the heck I'm even talking about. So it's not in the quantity, it's in the quality. Is that what you call your dog? Is that his name? Rainbow Phoenix? Oh my god. Oh, I hit the last one because I thought she was calling someone a butt. Well, I'm not gonna say it, but tell you guys, it's 94 degrees in here. I got to take a nice swim today. It was wonderful. Felt so good. But then, you never know when inspiration is gonna hit, and then bam, you need to act on it. Yeah, yeah, and I apologize about that glowing, but we knew, from the live stream that we were in earlier that there was some issues going on there, and I just really didn't know to what extent until I got in there. I was pretty shocked myself. Um, it's your kitty? You call your kitty cat that? Aww. I can see calling a little pestering dog, but a kitty cats are usually pretty independent. But I'll tell you what, even they're just wanting all the love that they can get too now. So something's going on. We're pouring out so much unconditional love that it's reflecting in our environment around us. It's wonderful. But I won't be going back there either, glowing. So no worries there. Um, I do think that our love bomb had effect. I do think that we'll see some effect come from it in the future, but As for going places that don't resonate with you, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not going back. I mean, that's my personal choice. If I'm not gonna go back. And it just seems like once you have had that experience where you have met him, and you know that it's all unconditional love and all unconditional forgiveness. Unconditional is unconditional. And then somebody's putting conditions and judgments and harsh critic and fleecing, and it doesn't resonate with you anymore. Um, I fell under harsh taskmasters. I know because when this waking process started happening, I didn't understand what the heck was going on. And I searched it out and outside of me, and you know, when all the answers were right in here, and that's where I got them from. It wasn't from sources out. Now, I've had divine appointments. Oh, don't get me wrong. I had a divine appointment with Magi, and I'll tell you what, it pretty much would be like a synchronicity. He walked maybe into my life at the exact right time, divine timing, and stood me right up on my feet that everything's okay. That everything you're going through is normal. So, and that was basically what I needed to hear. It was normal, and you know, to the moon. You think he's thinking that you can beyond all? Do you think your cat's thinking you're getting to the point of being sensitive enough to be able to hear him when he's talking? Yeah, I love Photo Helix. I love it, the creations that he comes up with too. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we got just a few minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? I still didn't get any answers. My email is in the show more notes. If anybody has any comments on that, I would appreciate because I know that we are all in this together. Um, I'm sharing with you guys as an experiencer myself, and I share with you my experiences. And I know that everybody's paths are different, just like Loine said, and there could be somebody that knows a little bit more about why certain people I can see these radiant auras and others I cannot. It may just be that it could be just as simple as they have not awakened yet. It could be just that simple. And as you awaken, or the awakening process is going on, then you start to extend out with that unconditional love. It could be that simple. But I was just wondering on why I would see it on some people and not on others. It's troubling to me. He talks to you constantly. That's nice. Yeah, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, bring in people who you think will resonate with us, expand this group, and show love for each other. Don't forget, guys, open format where anybody can come on, speak 5 minutes, share what they know so we can all listen and grow. And as you can tell, my little emoji, on the screen is getting bigger. I'm letting go of the ego issue of, I don't like the way I look or sound. Or I figured that out. That's ego. And out with that ego. It's more about the message. It's more about this transition that we're all going through together. I want us to go through it hand in hand together. And when we make that leap over, I want us to all do it together. Yes. Candy Apple, you have a channel? I didn't know that. See, those are things we need to share too. Okay, I've taken up enough of your time for today. I love you guys all so, so very, very much. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming and joining in on the live stream, even though it was a little late today. Um, enjoy those articles if you want to read them yourself, or if you missed them, you can watch from the beginning, or I read them to you. And I did pull this image from that first article that I read. It's absolutely gorgeous. The stairway to heaven, the stairway to the next dimension. Yeah, we're limitless, guys. Peace. Talk to you soon.